worked up about there, Bob, but, have you seen, we can show you, all this stuff about refraction is fine and dandy. I'm eating with it. Not really explaining why. I assume you're trying to, if you're a globe believer, which it seems like you are, you're trying to use that to somehow come up with a workaround, or some way to deny the fact that your globe model has no evidence in reality and there's no proof of curvature or rotations. That might have been why she brought that up. It's like, how so I suggest that you come at it, just a word of advice, if you're a person who is interested in intellectual conversations, instead of automatically assuming you're right, and the person that you're talking to that you know nothing about, assume that that person doesn't know what they're talking about. Maybe listen, spend your time listening while they're talking. It's even fine. I mean, I'm here to help you moderate. Like if there's a few seconds, you don't have to prepare your answer while she's talking. You don't have to start talking while she's talking and so on. You can just actually listen, maybe just pause a few seconds, let it sink in, whether Karma or Damsel Medic or anyone here is talking, and then respond in substance. Or if you're not quite sure, you could say, I have to research this some more and so on. So, we'd like to have a civil conversation with you, but I'm not going to go down your refraction road until, you show me a proof of curvature or rotation for this globe model. So I actually, while we're on this little intermission on the refraction conversation, Bob, I would like to know why you think you live on a spinning globe. You were trying to convince me, and, I can't handle your refraction argument. That's just way too hard for me. I'm a woman and I'm a flat earther. Oh, I'm so stupid. Please, Bob. How are you going to convince me I live on a spinning globe? Best proof. Oh.
Hey, I came in here in the beginning and I can explain what was actually happening and why she was like kind of spurging out and saying I'm wrong. And I can explain how I don't have to just
summarize what just happened. We can rewind if we want to know that. I asked you to prove your globe to me right now.
No, it's okay. I can remember what happened because I was here. But,
because I don't want to hear about it, because I was here too. So let's move forward. Can you please prove the globe? Thank you. Go.
I can't prove the globe. If you have any questions that you don't seem to understand what scientists are trying to prove, we can talk about gravity and density if you'd like. I don't know what's out there, but if you'd like to talk about it, we can. So if you're confused about how gravity works in relationship with density, we can talk about this. It's up to you.
Okay, so you can't prove your globe. Thank you, CB. Yep, you lost.
I'm not here to lose. I'm here to have a discussion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you not here to have a discussion?
Okay. So why don't you want to? Do you think you live on a spinning globe, Bob?
I don't know. But if I had a question, but what I'm trying to get at is, I mean,
are you?
Yeah, I am.
I get it. You want to make your presentation. I get it. If you got a server, DM me the link. And if you're having a presentation, hour-long presentation on refraction, I'll consider attending. I'm asking you a question. The person that's
sure.
Right, here. Why aren't you sure you live on a spinning globe, Bob?
Yeah. So I don't know if I live on a spinning globe. Okay. But if I wondered, like, hey, how come I stay on the ground? How come, when I throw something up, it falls back to the ground? I could look it up. And science, which is a version of our reality, that's a method to identify why things are happening, can explain to me why it falls back down to the earth and why I stay on the ground. So if you want to have a discussion
to your spinning globe, can you give that connection, please? Tell me how that's your best proof of the globe is that you throw something up and it falls down. Seriously? Please explain.
No, what I'm saying is if you're confused about why you're on a
why do you assume I'm confused? You know nothing about me. That's so funny. Tell me. Share the joke, Bob. We want to know.
I'm looking at the live stream and there's President Vladimir Putin, man. Like his head is so spherical. It pisses me off, If you're confused about what planet you're on and what kind of curvature is going on, we can get into it.
No, I'm not the one who said who couldn't answer the question about where I live. I can answer that question if you ask me, but you haven't asked me. I asked you, Bob, why aren't you sure you live on a spinning globe? I asked you if you live on a spinning globe. You said you didn't know. You weren't sure. I asked you why you weren't sure. You still haven't answered that question. Why aren't you sure? I'm asking you a question. I'm not asking you for help, because guess what? I paid for a big education. I'm not going to even tell you what kind of degrees I need to know, because you don't deserve to know. I'm asking you, Bob, why don't you think you live on a spinning globe? Why aren't you sure?
This is really good because how discussion works is you ask questions, right? So how the girl was asking me and like trying to disprove me, it's not a lecture. I can sit down and actually ask questions and infer and read about it and ask my own questions and arrive to a point. So now you're asking me why I'm confused. I'm on a globe, or I'm confused where I am. Is that your question, to clarify?
Yeah. Why are you confused, Bob?
Oh, it's because I have Down syndrome. Severe.
This is getting cringy.
Okay, I'm going to mute you for that. If Damsel wants
I'm done. No, that's not appropriate.
People with Down syndrome, you're going to get a little rant from me, Bob. I haven't done a ladies' night rant in a while, Damsel Medic. Are you implying there's something wrong with the human beings known as people with the condition of Down syndrome, which is a natural condition that some people in this world end up with and can be a great blessing to their families? In fact, we have people in the server who have Down syndrome children, which we're happy to tell you about what great blessings that they were to their family, as well as the fact that many women are given false positives. Their child is so-called having this syndrome or not. And guess what? A lot of those women who say, nope, I'm going to have this child. I'm going to welcome this child that was blessed into my life, no matter how they are and no matter how long they choose to stay with me on this earth. Guess what? Child's born perfectly normal. Can't tell you how many times I've heard that. So if you're part of this depopulation agenda that thinks people should be killed if they're not living up to your standards of perfection, you got a serious problem, Bob, and we really can't help you with that. So Down syndrome are beautiful children, and I've seen and loved many of them. So, you got a problem, Bob. Sorry.
Well
we can't
said,
help
Dandelion.
Thank you, Mister.
I agree. I'm not willing to talk to somebody that makes kind of trollish remark.
Amen. Amen. Very well.
You're lucky I didn't I would have gave you an uppercut to the face.
Make that two.
He did say he was on the spectrum when he came in here.
Yeah, I wondered if he was playing with that too.
Yeah, but saying something like that is not appropriate.
Yeah, he was on the sociopathic to narcissistic spectrum.
Yeah, they're laughing in the background when he made that statement. I'm done with it.
Yeah, he sounds like somebody from earlier. Like yesterday or earlier today or something. He sounds real familiar the way he was talking and how rude he was. He was like all pleasant and nice in the check-in, and then, somebody came and pulled him down real quick, and then he went crazy. It was like, what the hell?
And just as a recap for the audience, this is a person who came in with an attitude as if he knows all the science, he's going to teach them about it. Damsel Medic was trying to have an actual scientific conversation with him, but he was incapable of doing that because he obviously has a lot of holes in his scientific understanding, and he was trying to knowing that, and so, he's insecure. So he can edit himself and come back, and maybe he can grow a heart and soul at some point.
But he needs to be respectful, right? Like to everybody, not just the ladies, but to all of us. Like, you know what I mean? He needs to be held accountable for his actions and the way he was rude.
Absolutely. I gotta read this testimony from Jose, which is exactly what I'm telling you about. I got to start opening a Word document with a file of all the people who have told me this, personal testimonies. I can't even count how many times I've heard this in my life. It's sad. And this should go out to any woman who's being told by her doctor to kill her child. Jose said, the doctor told my wife to abort our baby because he was going to have a lot of issues. We ignored that and have a healthy child, no issues whatsoever. To me saying that, Dandelion. Jose, yes, and I've seen your child, and he is beautiful and is that your wife, of course, was, understood that she was going to have the child that was given to her. And that's a beautiful story. Yes, choosing life is wonderful. So, yeah, thank you, Jose. And that thing I'm called to do. My older daughter used to volunteer, helping teen mothers and so on, to help, young mothers who are in struggling situations. There's plenty of people around. Just check out those resources. We'll give you free diapers, clothing, parenting classes. There is so much support out there who, for whatever reason, are having a doctor in their ear, giving them the fear message, or who are afraid for whatever reason to have the child that was given to them. There are many resources out there for you, as well as resources for people who were coerced by fear, lies, so on, to give, to destroy that child, and who have, guilt or regret about that. That's fine too. All can be forgiven, and, you can also get the resources you need to heal, because we know it has a depopulation agenda that pushes this pro-death message. And normally we FlatEarth right now, but a person, there's something wrong with Down syndrome to tolerate. Apparently, Bab wants to apologize. He's telling me that in a message. I'm willing to give a person a chance to apologize. I hope it's going to be sincere. I guess we should give him a chance. Do you think so, damsel?
Well, that's completely.
It's still on. Oh, maybe you're still at the store.
There you are. I am at the store, but I'm almost done. I'm making my last stuff here and getting out of here.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all right.
I keep asking you stuff. I forgot. You're probably still busy.
Oh,
I don't know where he went. I don't
too
even
many
think
lines. Too many lines.
I understand. Yeah.
What we need is a back and forth conversation. He was just basically monologuing, so if he can agree not to monologue and have a conversation back and forth, it's up to you.
Yeah, he wants to apologize. I don't even know where he is. If anybody wants to find him, go ahead. But yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta read out this other testimony. Hank Hill, first doctor who heard my wife was pregnant, told her to kill, parentheses, kill, abort it. Yeah, it's a sad situation in this world today that people are programmed to think that children are burdens rather than blessings. Definitely sad. But yeah, congratulations on Maud. Like Jose just said, that's the first time that you're one of our newest moms along with Trace. Talk, that's perfectly fine too. Ildiko is here. Hi, Ildiko.
Yeah, thanks everybody. I'm happy to serve. Whatever I got to do, whatever I got to learn, I guess I'll try to pay a little more attention.
Just saying hello. You have your hands full this evening.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty crazy. It's already 7:30.
Wow. He was very disrespectful. You could tell he was condescending.
Condescending's a good word for it. Yeah, and it's a tactic. So Bob's back, so we'll let him apologize here in a minute. But yeah, just since you mentioned that, it's unfortunate when people feel like they have to use tactics, instead of just honest dialogue, like he was trying to appear to the audience, that he was superior to us, because of course he's probably programmed and indoctrinated with the propaganda that, oh, those stupid flat earthers, and he can't even hear or listen to the people who are actually in front of him, and he wants to appear to be, smarter than he is to the audience, which is perfectly fine, Bob. It'll work with people who aren't actually smart. So if that's who you're going for, go for it. But you're not going to get away with it around here. I'm sure you can find many Discord forums where you can get away with it. All right, Bob, I'm sorry. That wasn't a good opening. If he does have a sincere apology, I'm sorry. There's a lot of sarcasm in there. I do apologize, Bob. If you are going to make a sincere apology, I do want to hear it, Bob, and I shall take my own advice and do my very best to just listen to what you're going to say without preconceptions. All right, I'm about to unmute him. I just have to find him here.
Yeah, sure. So
right,
I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. So I'm sorry. Sorry for saying that. And if I offended anybody, I also apologize. And that's all I can say. There's no excuse. Is that okay?
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's a great apology. I loved it. Yeah, no justification, no excuses. I loved it. Great. So hopefully you're not, in the future, you won't make fun of Down syndrome children, will you?
Nope.
Thank you. Will you give me a promise of that, Bob? You can promise not to make fun of Down syndrome children.
Yeah, I promise.
Thank you.
I also appreciate your apology.
So I don't know if you want to go. I don't know if she's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead there, Master Chief.
Oh no, I was just saying I appreciate the apology from someone that has Tourette syndrome.
There you go. Yeah, because when you make fun of one disabled person, you know, or however you want to, you know, whatever adjective you want to use, you know, one person with different characteristics than what you consider the norm, you're making fun of all of them. Yeah, and you're categorizing them as an other, dehumanizing them and all things. So I just hope you realize that, Bob. Like, imagine if a person has Down syndrome and they're listening, yeah, and they hear you say that. It's very unfortunate. So yeah, hopefully you'll keep that in mind in the future. I don't know if Damsel Medic's out of the store. If you want to talk about refraction more, if there's anybody else who has a question about the flat Earth. Looks like we got some other people that have joined us.
I need a few minutes to get to my car, and then I'll be able to talk freely again because I'm going to sit down and relax.
She's still in the store. Poor Damsel Medic. I keep nagging her. I won't keep putting you on the spot. You tell us when you're back. You tell us when you're back.
Just because we love her so much, we just can't wait. We're impatient.
That's right.
Dandelion? Do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
I might not answer them, depending on what they are, but hopefully they're about the flat Earth content.
Just some personal opinions you can answer from the heart. Do you believe in like any politics, like parties, conservatism, liberalism, or are you also against that?
It's against the rules to talk about that in the live stream, but you could maybe invite her to chill chat after Ladies' Night.
Oh, okay, sorry. So I guess we won't talk about that.
At least as far as I know, I think that's against.
I guess I'll ask my other question.
We try to leave politics out of it only because it's very divisive. Like, just to say, like, yeah, to me, it's just another, you know, trap, dead end joke. Yeah. So I'm not really that interested in it. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna go like I wasn't gonna.
Why I'm not interested, but.
I wasn't gonna dive down the whole rabbit hole of, you know, parties and politics.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. In politics is very uninteresting to me. There's my answer.
Okay, that's fine. So when did you first realize the Earth is flat? Is there like a eureka moment?
One more time.
I said, when did you first realize that the Earth is flat?
Okay, good. Okay. My connection is kind of going into the red sometimes. So if I start roboting, just let me know. Yeah. So Bob, I'm glad you asked me that actually, because maybe that'll help you with some of the preconceptions that you obviously came in here with. So yeah, back in 2016, I was working on my master's degree in science education. I was taking a physics class, which is one of the last classes I had to take to get my degree. And we were assigned to come up with a physics topic that we could explain common misconceptions that students might have about a physics topic. So at that time, flat Earth was all over the news. It was it was really in people's minds because Recently, the rapper B.O.B. as well as Tila Tequila were active on Twitter saying the Earth was flat. It was kind of when it kind of started to become like a meme and a thing that people were talking about. So I said, I'll pick Flat Earth. That'll be an easy paper for me to write, right? And because I can just explain it to those children, no problem, how it's been proven it's a globe and Flat Earth is an archaic notion and so on. So then the problem that happened, Bob, is that when I started to investigate it, I found out, oh no, this actually has not been proven scientifically, and there are many thought questions that came up that I could not answer, so I realized it was a question that required further investigation. At that time, unfortunately, since I just Googled it, I'll try to make this as short as possible so as not to bore you, Bob. I found some bad information. Some of it was pretty good, but I was unfortunately led to the Flat Earth Society, which is a joke organization that sets up straw men of Flat Earth that they can easily knock down. So even though there were some questions on that forum that were interesting to me, such
you're roboting.
Cover the Earth return.
Give her a second.
Am I back?
Do a mic check.
Am I back?
Sort of.
Okay, I may be able to try to go in and out.
You're back.
How about now? Okay, I'll try to wrap it up real quick. Anywho, but I was kept away from the, the objective measurements such as the 8 inches per mile squared curvature that is predicted by the globe model and yet never measured anywhere. So it took me a little while. I finished the paper, but, it was still up in the air. But one thing I never did in between those times before I saw 8 inches per mile squared and when I was writing my paper using bad information, but doing the best I could to reason it out by myself, one thing I never did was make fun of a flat earther or think that their ideas were archaic or that they thought the earth was flat just because they were stupid, because I realized, oh my gosh, they don't have definitive proof. Otherwise, all this stuff wouldn't exist, and it's a serious question, even though the Flat Earth Society is a joke and they created their straw man models and so on. I didn't want to get on those models and listen to the dispute. But once I saw the 8 inches per mile squared curvature, I realized that I've seen throughout my life, such as the Chicago skyline across Lake Michigan at 52 miles, Beaver Island from Charlevoix at over 30 miles, and other things I saw out of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, such as seeing the Canadian shore across Lake Superior, that all of those things were impossible on a globe of 3,959 miles. It was no longer a question up in the air or disturbing to me. It's just fact of this world that the globe is a fantasy, a science fiction creation that has no basis in reality. Does that answer your question, Bob?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I was asking for more specifics, like something you don't understand, like maybe
that wasn't specific enough. Do you want me to show you the map? Do you want me to draw you a diagram? You want the calculation?
It was just more of a story.
What you looking for?
It was just more of a story, it was just.
You wanted me to say something that you could knock down and make fun of, and I didn't give that to you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bob. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint.
He said it himself, Dandelion. He said he wanted something that you didn't understand.
Right. You
He
think
was really you didn't understand something.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, you understand the subject better than he does. So he was hoping to find something that you weren't understanding, so that he could show you how it works. But the problem is, you understand all of this better than he does. So he didn't get what he wanted.
You asked her how did she realize the flat Earth. She told you the whole story.
Yeah, but it was more of a story where she was just talking about how it happened. So as in she was doing, her essay and stuff, and then she realized that there isn't a lot of things disproving flat Earth. And I was hoping for more, again, specific answers like, hey, I don't understand how gravity works, or...
No, she gave you the measurements. Bruh, she gave you the measure. Go ahead, damsel.
Yeah, why don't you just repeat it? If I misheard you, or I didn't...
Stop. It's insulting. Because
sure,
what
just
you did,
repeat
you asked her for her story. She gave you her story. You didn't ask her to prove why she thinks the Earth is flat. You asked her for how she came to understand it. Then you turn around and you're starting to go, oh, now I need to have something that I want to explain, because you can't be smart enough if you're a flat earther. You have no good reason to be that. You must not understand. So I can explain it to you. Trust me, dude, we're not that dumb. We really aren't. Your assumption that we have to have you come in here and explain things to us is kind of laughable. and it's insulting.
Well, if she had something very specific and I misheard it, or I didn't hear it, you could just regurgitate that to me.
No, it's your assumption that we
Potentially?
need you to come and explain things to us.
Well, I can't attack her on a story.
If that's because you're wanting to attack. See, that's the thing. You should have said that straight up, that you want to debate her, but you asked her for her story of how she came to think the earth was flat. You were very specific and she gave you that answer, and now you're trying to twist it. Because you want to explain to us what we don't know. See, you think we don't know the questions that you're about to give us.
Guys, I'm trying to be as nice as possible here. I'm saying I'm trying to help you.
But I'm
trying
to
you're not going to bring out some explanations.
You're insulting.
You keep telling me I'm attacking you and stuff.
Stop talking. You're not listening.
You're
Bobby boy, stop talking.
insulting our intelligence, and it is obvious. So quit it. If you want to ask legitimate questions of why we measure the earth as flat and why we understand refraction to work a certain way, that would be one thing, but that's not your intention. Your intention is to explain everything that we must not understand. So we are not smart enough, are we? In your opinion. Just be honest.
I'm not actually sure why you're putting words in my mouth. Because if I did that to you, if I put words in your mouth, you'd probably be really pissed. So I'm just saying, like, I've been pretty
you actually
calm.
said, I can explain things to you. You are not in a discussion if you're going to explain things to us.
If he's just going to lie outright, shouldn't he just get another little timeout? Because gaslighting is not very welcome here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Absolutely, Karma. Gaslighting is not welcome.
Don't treat us women like that.
He can't prove the globe.
I haven't barbecued gender one time.
He can't prove. He can't. He can't demonstrate.
This is ladies' night, so I use gender.
Contenders.
Yeah, he's still on
Are there
panic
any other
mode.
contenders that would like to present curvature or rotation and their scientific evidence of either?
Right, just how you explained your story, because Bob asked you to. Isn't it okay for Bob to explain something about his views or his story?
I'd rather talk to you. Bob.
Is he your boyfriend, Jeff?
We also prefer when people are truthful
just
rather than lying straight up.
And trolling.
I haven't done anything. I've already been asked if he's my boyfriend. Do you not see why it's kind of toxic?
Concern trolling, which by the way is against the rules. He doesn't need you to come save him. He's not a little princess in distress.
I'm just confused. Can I talk? Can I be honest here? Can I be honest here? So, I've been pretty nice.
You haven't been the whole time, Bob.
No, you have not.
I've been saying I'm helpful. And
no.
Yeah, Bob, you got to stop making claims that you can't back up. You think you've been nice.
Well, I'm going to back it up with some evidence.
You insulted.
The people you're talking to are saying you haven't been.
You insulted other people.
Because the moment
we're telling you.
Guys, let me talk. Come on.
No, let Damsel Medic speak,
no, I'm not interested.
You talk. You keep
not interested in a dishonest
Go
person.
ahead, Damsel.
Well, what I mean is, if I was honest in your version, and you keep telling me I'm attacking you, and I haven't brought it up one time, the one time I did bring it up,
insulting.
the one time,
Did I say attack, or did I say insult?
Madam, please, come on, have a discussion.
No,
take a break.
I am not interested.
And then you're doing the sexing thing to us.
Like, come on, guys. This is like some basic.
It's just amazing. It's gobsmacking.
How about you?
This is called being a social human being. Come on.
Insulting.
This gaslighting, patronizing, condescending ass. Can we just get rid of him? Because I don't think he's worth the conversation.
I don't think so. Because he's going to explain to us why we are.
We're not going to debate whether Bob is nice. That's not why we're here.
No, I don't have any interest in it. He's insulted other people. He's insulted people that had disabilities.
Wait, what did you say that was insulting?
He insulted people that had disabilities without a thought. That tells me kind of what we're dealing with. Plus, he insulted other people as well by saying he needs to explain to us things we don't understand without just being honest and saying, do you not understand something? It was a trap. He said dandelion up.
He's been talking down to everybody in here for a while. It's honesty. If anybody can't see that, then they honestly need to pick up on a little social skills, because they wouldn't even be able to tell if they're in an abusive relationship if you can't even tell that was patronizing and condescending. And the way he acted was just not very civil.
And then trying to turn it on us and make it sound like we were doing something wrong by questioning why he's trying to explain everything instead of having a discussion about his evidence.
Okay, so anyway, banned him. So I'm just going to play the Why Would They Lie song just to kind of reset us, and then when this song is over, if there's anyone in here who has questions about Fantasy Globe and why it has no basis in reality, then hopefully you'll be willing to talk to the ladies here. So, but we're not going to talk about Bob. So, McJeff, if you want to talk about, to us, maybe we could give you another chance, even though you're concerned troll, which is against our rules. But we'd be willing to give you another chance if you want to after the song. Troll? Here comes the song. Listen to the song and then tell us.
All right.
It might not have worked because it's on my playlist. Let me try. Okay, hold on. Let's try again. I don't know if Trace is still there and he can help me because I think it went wrong because it's in the middle of my Flat Earth playlist, so it does something up, but I'll try again.
Why would they lie? 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 Why would they lie?
I know you've been hating this, but how about that radius, huh? What is he saying though? Broken geometry. Okay. I just pointed out, now you're at hominy. Went to your mommy be trucking and driving, Globers be wildin'. They went out of style. 8 inches per mile squared, never been measured out in the wild. Why would they lie? That's what they cry when it just can't be denied. Defending the government, slave till you die. You ain't got no reply.
That stuff is flat.
Who told you that? Like I can't trust my eyes? There ain't no curvature, and the swan is black. But nice try.
Why would they lie? 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 Why would they lie?
Once you go flat, matter of fact, you never go back, you never go back.
Why would they lie? Why would they lie? Why would you ask such a question? Coming here crying to ask why they're lying? Dude, may I make a suggestion? It seems to me in your mind that you could use some introspection. Instead of advancing your thinking, you're headed straight to a sad state of regression. People keep thinking it's our job to find them the model that they've been requesting. Meanwhile, they're walking around every day in the world never ever suspecting that the very own senses a human possesses have never attested. Something that's absolutely and completely reversed to the world manifested. How can you think that a person like me could take someone like you even serious? Why would they lie? Why would they lie? Bro, are you fucking delirious? How can we even engage in a true conversation if we can't surpass this? I'm gonna need you and your little fundy friends to pull their heads out their asses. Why would they lie? Are you fucking high? You really gotta be kidding me. The world that you've known, all on its own, has been nice and flat since the beginning, see? No 8 inch per mile square, that's why y'all scared to have this become mainstream. So as a result, we transform into nightmares, waking folks from the daydream. So proceed to ask why they are lying without verifying your story. And at the end of the day, maybe all I can say is that y'all fucking bore me. Why would they lie? Can't even deny. You're sounding just like a baby. Maybe a hero is all that you need. Maybe else somebody save me.
Global abortion, all applauding. Cheers, big heads, small, enormous. From cradle to grave shall be like tortoise. NASA tower lies every day is exhausting. Nothing more boring than the stream they recording. Yeah, that looks real, is that a joker talking? Composite mind nuts is not a bore you foreskin. Ignoring, distorting the facts with their stories. Entering your mind in respect of a warrant. To say levels curve we expect from a zealot. Spherical excess, now we don't want it. Delusional puppet digesting the stomach. Without any warning, hick on the shoremen. Are you a moron who's not that important? Similar to Karen, always reporting. Endorsing the fraud and effects without cause. Manifest force from a pseudo source. Reversing the curse of what you've been taught. They've been rehearsing the dirt, but they still fall short. Imaginary planetary like me coincide with spacewalk. As astronauts monetary paid for. Submerging the water while they claim that they orb. It's a circus show, clown circle in the globe. Why would they lie? Obvious the creator. If the glove don't fit and the earth don't turn, that's a whole lot of that they have to earn. Learn with the horizon swan. We eliminate the curve. All our eyes are on only what we can observe. Global lies are wrong while they're hiding flatter. Keep my spies life on hide for the research. You rely upon priest and pirate like a bird. With your lying glob, preach religion like a church. How should they die? How should they die? Why would they lie? Why would they lie?
Why would they lie? Why would they try? I got the math and science on my side. I'm running circles as easy as pie. Your reification is all falsified. The education is all just a lie. No need to replace it. All I need is you to face it. All I got is time and you just waste it. This is a gift staring you in the faces. Where you gonna get the truth from if not from us? Then who you dum-dum? Made the bed at your demise and chose to sleep to count the sheep since 9 to 1-1. Never been a fighter, fact of life, a choice of wrong and right that I would ever run from. State the truth, defend the youth and stop the coup. It's just a job that got to get done. Why would they lie? Why would they lie? Why would they lie? Santa was real, the fairy was real. Why mama lie? My brother died, healthcare was bad. Why mama cried? The system is broke, your son is woke. I'm setting this shit on fire. Why would they lie? 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 Why would they lie?
Why would they not? The plot and derive by watching the sky and they know it's a clock. They picking both sides and listen with lies. The people pretend that they pick who they got. The people divide and then they disguise and now they're devising a plot. You ask why they lying from behind closed eyelids. You disguising an iris that's lifeless. You're denialist, but this lie is why you're a nihilist. Guess you're lying for the pride then. They enticing the brightest to get deprived in contrived confinement. Lie about what the meaning of life is. Get a degree in a 9 to 5 shift. Only way that you'll survive this. What's that mean? They have to bribe them. Yeah, it's tragic. Their only tactic when the model under attack is asking where a map is. If they lied about the earth, what you even asking? Weaving past them, leaving blasting. Everything you believe is backwards. Occult belief is practice. That's what they achieve in masses. Yeah, it matters. You believe what masses. Massive incoherent magnets have a weak attraction. That's electrostatics. They always invert it backwards. Wonder what's the verdict, pastors? Religious zealots preaching, talking past us. Sent a blitz right up the middle. Who can block the fastest? Falsify the radius. You cannot walk right past it. Yeah, they truly think they got the masses, but God's got the backing, so they can't stop what happens.
Why would they lie? 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 OG. Why would they lie? I'll tell you why. They don't want to see you survive. They don't want to see you get live. Love on your queen till you hire you some kids and provide. They don't want to see you revive. Take an L, they come back harder than ever besides. Packing that hammer on side. I cannot help it, bro. Second Amendment on mine. They won't label you a felon. That way you can't get your hands on protection. That way they come in and fake an election. If they want Caesar assets, you can't stop or arrest them. That way the hood is simply a reflection of the design that they predestined. If you don't like it, they pop off your top like your last name was Kennedy in Dallas, Texas.
Damn.
That was fun. I wanted that guy earlier to hear that. He left, though. I can't remember his name now. He was here at the beginning that asked us why would they lie. Because people ask almost every day. Yeah, so do you ladies, I'm getting tired out here because you've been here for 3 hours. I don't know if you ladies want to keep going or end this at the top. I'm trying to get to sleep so she can go to precious metals. We don't really have a lot of other
I'm here.
women in here. I mean, we could stick around, but we could end the program if we wanted. What do you think, Damsel Medic?
Yeah, I think you and me and Karma. Isn't Karma still there? Or she'd leave?
She's here, but she said she doesn't want to do a huge amount more. I don't know. Karma, is that what you said? Am I wrong? Okay, Jay's still here. It's up to you guys. I'm just not going to be able to talk that much anymore because I'm getting worn out. So
it's almost 1 o'clock, and I want to get an early bedtime because I usually sleep too long after staying up till 8 in the morning after ladies' night, and then I miss precious metals, so I've never been to a single one. So this time I'm gonna try to make it.
yeah, I hate to say it because if Mr. Bob's listening, because apparently he's up and checking under his new name, Schwaffel. Yeah, Drace, I don't know if you want to talk to Salted Red Pill there about the situation, if you want to let him back in. I just told him if he wants to come back in after ladies' night, that's up to you guys, but I'm not going to talk to him anymore because,
no, I'm done.
He's exhausting. I mean, that kind of person, and I think he actually thinks he's a nice person. I like you said, I'm nice, I'm being nice. I guess, he really has no idea how incredibly rude he is. It's so weird. I really think he thinks he's like a decent person, but that's how these people have been trained, right? Because they think they're superior. They're all up in their head. He actually thought, remember, did you hear what he said after I told my story? And I even put the credentials in there because I'm like, hey, this is the kind of guy that actually thinks credentials mean something. And then he's like, oh, I thought maybe if you needed me to explain gravity to you. I just told you I'm a master's in science education, and you're thinking I'm going to need you to explain gravity. It's like he still doesn't get a clue. I mean, it's just sad, but that's what these, kind of atheist type people who have to believe in all this nonsense, who really don't have a heart and soul, who only live in their head, like their little imaginary world projections, they actually think is real. And then they have these people on TV and on the computer like confirming their weird little, reality, and they actually think these voices in their head are real and that their little mind that they've made up is real because we aren't real to him, right? You can tell with that kind of person that other people are just kind of like literally 2D projections. Like, he does not think of us as being human beings. That would be my diagnosis. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go so deep in the psychoanalysis of Bob. Okay, so anyway, do we have any other globe believers in here, or should we just end the ladies' night at 8, or what are we doing here?
Before you finish, I don't mind people pulling him back from detention or cocktails. If he reads the rules, and I told him as much, so if anybody wants to pull him back later, that's fine by me.
Yeah, I don't mind if he gets pulled back. It's just that he doesn't seem to understand that we do understand the scientific method. I think that was the other thing he was trying to explain. Yeah, most of us do know that pretty well. So just don't assume we don't have any brains, don't know anything about science, or that we disagree with all science. We just expect evidence to back what they say up. We are not anti-science. It's not the way to see us at all. So come back with
he's one of the a long parade of people who come in here spouting their globe religion, which is clearly a superstitious belief with absolutely zero basis in reality, which we've proven again and again and again tonight and demonstrated and so on. They're the religious ones. They're the superstitious ones. They've been told we're the religious ones. So they actually come in here thinking that. And so but it's interesting, like when they're presented with counterexample after counterexample, where we're sitting there calmly explaining the facts and so on, it just doesn't even compute. Like, they are incapable of re-examining their original premises that flat earthers are stupid and ignorant and are only going about this from religious belief. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, some people do come about flat earth because the Bible clearly says the earth is flat, and that's perfectly fine. Like, those people are valid as well. But it's interesting, like in the live stream, for a specific reason, only because, we are going to beat them on their own playing ground, which is this pure intellectual stuff that they claim they're doing, even though they're clearly not, because they're completely caught up in the cult of pseudoscience, while also worshiping themselves and thinking that just because they're able to, put a, semi-coherent sentence out, that they actually know what they're talking about, because they've been propped up for years and years and years and told that reciting the science glossary is science. So anyway, it's an interesting phenomenon. So yeah, if other people are patient enough and have the energy that they want to keep talking to Mr. Bob there, feel free. I'm not willing to talk to that dude anymore. But I don't want to say he's hopeless. Damsel medic.
I think he sounds like a narcissist that was just too used to using gaslighting and maybe looking for someone that he could gaslight and try to get away with it,
And I'm sure that works for him everywhere else. That's why I wonder, why they come to a place where it doesn't work, why they don't see that. I guess they're just so used to working, they're just assuming that it's working. It doesn't even matter. But this guy last night,
I don't take gaslighting well. I've had too much of that in real life to deal with, and I just don't put up with it. Sorry. And don't tell me you're not insulting when I didn't tell him he was attacking us. It's insulting what he was doing, not attacked. I don't think he realized how insulting.
He kept doing what he accused you of doing. He was projecting. He was showing so many narcissistic flags. And honestly, the same. Tired of dealing with it in real life, so I don't want to deal with that here. I'd rather cockpiss him and talk to somebody better than that. Or to you ladies, because you were far more interesting than somebody who's going to just lie and gaslight.
I'm so glad we had Bob, though, because he's another version of Sai, S-A-I, who we had last night, who Indio hard banned at 1 or 2 in the morning. Because I actually got frustrated with Sai, and my statement at the end was that he was hopeless, right? And then afterward, I kind of felt guilty about that, because I don't really want to say that any person is hopeless, you know what I mean? So I'd just like to apologize to the world, and Sai, of course, he's not listening, and just people like that, it's like they're at a certain stage, and getting through to them with logic and reason might be hopeless right now, but that doesn't mean the person is hopeless. Like, there's still probably a soul in there somewhere that maybe could be reached at some stage in the future. So I need to make sure I don't do that, because we don't like it when they do that to us, like diagnosis as a person. So his behavior isn't acceptable, and it's not. A lot of times it seems impossible to get through to these people with logic, but the person themselves, could grow and at some point decide to open their mind to actually using the reason that God gave them, and actually look around to where we actually live and stop, listening to the fairy tales on TV and believing these science fiction soap operas are real. I mean, we used to call that insane. I still do.
Well, I got to interrupt real quick, and I apologize. This is the first time I've ever interrupted a ladies' night, Dandelion. You probably know that. But I have to tell you, ladies, that you do such a good job. It's the only time, Dandelion, or Damsel Medic, or Karma, when you ladies are on here, it's the only time that I can present this channel to that I know it's going to be handled correctly. And don't ever feel bad that you think that you're going too hard on somebody, because the way that men handle the situations are never close to the way a woman can do things, especially because this is a psychological argument. This guy was proving that it's not about evidence anyway. He admitted that he's trying to attack you or your points in order to boast his ego. And I just have to point out that even if you ladies didn't delve in to the evidence portion of this topic, when I met a lady 7 years ago, she said 2 words to me. I first talked to her about a bunch of other things, realized that she was a smart person. She said flat earth to me, and I got quiet, and I didn't ask her to prove anything. I realized right then and there that this intelligent speaking lady had this viewpoint for a reason, and now it was up to me, a man, because I'm a real man, sorry to say, I have to now figure out why. It's not the lady's job now to do that for me. If a lady has an opinion or a belief about something and I'm curious about it, I'm not going to interrogate that woman. That's the last thing I would ever do, and that's a telltale sign that there's something wrong with somebody when they want to, which we get all the time. But just you ladies, just the fact that you're talking about these things, you don't realize how much you are actually doing. These are seeds that you're planting that will be cast into water, that you might not ever see them again, but trust me, they're being planted and they're being nursed, and things are happening beyond your scope, beyond what we're even seeing. It took one lady 7 years ago that I spoke to just for a short period of time, just to say those words, and now here I am 7 years later. I piss off flat earthers at this point. I've delved into the topic so much. So realize that you're doing not only a good job, but it's better than what you think you're doing, and to never be worried about the way you handle yourselves, because trust me, anytime a woman thinks she's doing something bad or wrong, just realize a man is doing it worse. Thanks.
Thank you for that. And also, a good man notices this kind of shit. Dumb man will not notice this. And this works in reverse as well. When you have a good, healthy relationship with a good man and a good woman, even platonically, for instance, me and Dre's brother and sister, I trust him. I know him. He's been a researcher type for so long that when he brought me the flat earth thing, I'll be honest, and when I just asked him the basic questions and he just explained to me some basic things, before I saw the proof, I believed it. Then I saw the proof and I knew. But because I know him, I'm like, he wouldn't be saying this and he wouldn't, all of this makes sense. I trust him to have checked that all out. And then he showed me all the stuff and I'm like, yep, this checks out.
I mean, that's basically what we're doing here is, and that's the thing is, I just have to keep reminding myself, we don't really need to get that upset about it. I mean, these people are displaying themselves, the wheat's being separated from the chaff. Some people are able to, understand what's right in front of them and are able to interact with the world, that's right in front of them, and other people are stuck in the shadows in their head. And that's just the way it is. We don't really need to be upset with those people. I really should pity those people. I mean, I pity Bob, really. I mean, he's definitely missing out. Poor Bob. So Yoda is in the lobby typing to me because he did agree with what we were saying. He can't type in the VC voice text because he doesn't have the VC verified role. But if Yoda can say hi to us, then we would be able to give him VC verified role. Are you there, Yoda? If you can't talk right now, that's fine. But if any time you want to, there's people in the check-in, actually, if you'd rather do it there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just wanted to say hi because it looked like you were in agreement with us.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying.
So on. Are you a person who understands that the globe is a lie?
Yeah, the curvature of the Earth, like it is flat. Like the Earth is.
How'd you come to that understanding?
The what? Sorry, I have really bad internet. I don't think I can talk right now.
Oh, well, that's all right. I gave you the VC verified role, so you'll be able to come back and talk to us another time.
For sure.
Okay. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and end the actual event, and then, people can still hang around here and talk. Ladies don't have to leave or anything, but I'm just going to end the official event, and then we'll just continue on here. And if Drace and those guys decide they want to talk to Bob again, that's fine. I want nothing to do with it, and, damn, Sameta can decide what she wants to do with our friend Bob.
I'll let you guys play with that a little bit more because I'm tired of it.
I know, exactly. I'm sure some of those guys probably want to get their hands on Bob, I would guess. I mean, I think some of them actually said that live here in the live stream. I don't know, we should give McJeff a chance to say hello, but only if McJeff's going to talk about himself and maybe his belief in the globe and so on. We don't want to hear you talk about Bob, McJeff. Bob's not even here. Do you want to say hello to us, McJeff, and tell us a little bit about yourself?
What do you want to hear about me?
Do you think you live on a spinning globe?
Well, I'm coming here with an open mind. I'm not going to say one way or another.
Okay, so you're not sure. So, and that's good because, to think that you lived on a globe, you should have been presented with some kind of verifiable, testable, repeatable evidence of curvature or rotation, and we've never met anyone who's actually found any of that. We find people who think they found it, but then when it's examined, it's usually found that it does not meet that criteria. or any kind of objective observation. So it's just a science fiction story you were sold on TV. NASA's not even good at their science fiction. I mean, that's the sad part. Like, Hollywood's way better at science fiction. I guess NASA's just trying to save money. If they're billions of dollars, they're bilking from the American taxpayer with some of these jokes, like the Mars rover. I mean, come on. When Roger first made that meme of the Mars rover landing, I had to try to find that. I'm like, sure, because I didn't watch it. I'm like, this is really what they put out and tell people, and they believed. He's like, yeah, that's what they put out there. I mean, this looks like an animation project my children do in middle school. It's such a joke. And, it's a joke. I mean, that's the thing. The globe is the joke. The globe is the superstition. I get it that people don't get that right now. Like, joke's on you. And you guys think because you got, whatever, the government, media, industrial, military complex on your side, that you're somehow big guy on campus. Like, okay, that's fine. You got the chance right now to actually see truth for yourself and stand up for truth. That opportunity won't always be there for you. But it's fine. Do what you want. What were you going to say there, McJeff?
I said I was coming in with an open mind, and seem to instantly be met with criticism, even though I haven't said anything.
Oh,
yet.
I'm sorry, McJeff. I'm sorry. I was trying to. That was supposed to be a more general. That was not ranted.
That's fine.
I don't know you at all, so I'm sorry if you took it personally, McJeff. Oh no, I liked your answer. You're coming in with an open mind. That's great. Maybe one of these other ladies want to give you the basics. I guess I like I said, I'm getting worn out. Do you have any questions about the flat Earth, McJeff? I mean, what keeps you unsure about this Earth?
I have one point which I got asked by a friend when I said I joined this server, and that was how you can see the curvature of the Earth apparently from the top of Everest. What's your opinion on that?
No, you can't actually. The one picture they show of that is with a fisheye lens. That's actually not true. Neil deGrasse Tyson will even confirm that for you. At 120 plus thousand feet, it is still flat, level, no curve, and he'll tell you on the guy on your side. So a hostile witness actually says no, you cannot see it as far as and as high as Baumgartner jumped. Felix Baumgartner's jump. Did you ever look at that?
No.
Well, you might want to go look and see how high that was, and you may want to pay real close attention when you watch the video. When the door slides open, the horizon's flat, but then when they switch to outside cameras, because they're using fisheyes, there's a severe curve. So Mexico is, I think that's where he was flying over, either New Mexico or something, is about the size of a planet, which doesn't make sense.
Right, fair enough.
Also, in BC text, at 12 minutes past the hour, there is a video from the top of Everest that shows that it's flat the whole way around. It's a full circle.
Just as you said, a fisheye lens was used to show the Earth is curved, and it may well have been. Couldn't it also then be argued that the lens used to show the Earth as having no curvature was also curved?
Do you think that's what they see with their eye then? Because the fisheye lens is so
well,
distorted,
I cannot see.
I've not.
In all fairness, I've not been to the top of Everest. I have flown in a plane, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you're really honest, did you actually see any curvature or dropping away of the horizon from your eye level? Probably not.
Well, I saw it fade off, but I don't know how you can objectively see a curve fading away from you anyway.
Well, think about what it would look like if you rise up off a ball. What happens to the horizon? What should happen?
I don't know how to phrase that into words. Do you?
Just that your horizon seems to always meet your eye level no matter how high you go, which is indicative of not a curved surface like a globe dropping away from you.
What
Just
do
like
you mean?
We don't see it on the flat ground. We don't see a dropping away, a drop over mileage.
I understand what you mean to an extent, but what do you mean by visually seeing a dropping away of? How do you visualize something or explain that?
I'm trying to think of a different way to explain it. That if you
Yeah,
were
take
over
your
the
time.
surface of a ball or globe, as you went up, the edge drops away from you, so your horizon doesn't stay at the same place. It drops.
Yeah.
Because your elevation gives you a further distance. So there's some good examples. I think somebody just posted one at 4 minutes after the hour.
I see your point, but the way you're trying to get me to visualize it kind of puts in my head a smaller globe or a smaller sphere, which is not what the Earth or the globe is said to be, because the globe will be so massive that
You
it's
think
not
it's
like.
very massive, but do you know what the radius is? Do you know how
I've
far
not
the
looked it
distance
up,
to the
no.
physical horizon should be? Well, at 1 foot observer's height, the distance to the physical horizon on a globe that's supposedly 3959 miles radius is only 1.22 miles.
What's the significance of that?
That's your physical horizon at 1 foot off the surface. That's where it has to be for the size of globe they claim it to be.
So you're saying every however many miles you lose a foot of
8
horizon?
inches per mile squared is the drop rate for the globe size they have given you.
What about it?
That's how much is dropping away from you. So
Yes.
we can see much further than we should be able to, because there's no physical horizon that matches consistently all the time, every observation with that
but
distance.
Isn't that expected? You don't look into the horizon and just see flat, dead flat. I mean, look at
No, but
the
if you go
gifts
to water where it's
sent in.
measured, so we can
Yeah.
do a lot of measurements over water where we can be consistently sure that it's going to be flat and level. And then we use distance markers such as the black swan argument, which uses oil platforms to known distances, and the horizon is being seen so far away, it doesn't even come close to what your claimed globe measurement radius has to be
Right.
for a physical
So,
horizon.
are they looking at an object on the horizon, maybe an oil rig? Because obviously
Yeah.
that would be raised quite far off the sea level.
Right. There are things that are being seen far in the distance, like city, mountains, horizons beyond, platforms that measure a certain distance.
But-
So in the voice chat, if you look, there's something called the black swan. You can see the oil platforms. I think somebody posted it at.
As you said, however many miles it was again, for how many inches it was off the ground. When you say these objects you can see on the horizon are so tall anyway, it also shows that the being able to see something on the horizon, if it's like directly on the ground, you won't be able to see that, would you?
Again, it depends on the angular size and your angular resolution of your eye, if that's what you're asking. You can't see small items very, very distant, of course, because of angular size.
Wait, what do you mean by angular size? What's that?
How big the eye object is. Say if I have a pencil and I move it 2 miles away, you can't see it, but if I have a mountain that's a mile high, you could.
That's just the resolution of the eye, I assume.
Yeah,
That's
which
not to do
affects
with
how far you
curvature.
can see as well as the Atmos density.
Okay. If we move on slightly to why can't you see all the way across an entire landmass into the distance? What's the
That's
reasoning
just what
behind
I
that?
covered. I actually just dropped you the hint right there. I said Atmos density. So again, whatever particulate and moisture is going to be limiting your vision, and angular size and angular resolution of your eye. The ability of the eye to see only so far is a known distance, so a known factor in this. So depending on how big the object is that you're looking at and how far away it is, you might be able to see it, depending again on how foggy it is, how much pollution's in the air, how much moisture's in the air. So there is no unending vision unless you're in a total, no atmosphere, none.
So theoretically, if the flat Earth or the Earth was in a void rather than an atmosphere, you would be able to see indefinitely.
You can see a lot further, again, depending on the angular size of what you're trying to see.
Yeah, I'm not expecting you to be able to see a pencil from 50 kilometers away.
Hang on, did you say you're not expecting to see curvature in 50 kilometers?
No, he said he thinks he could see a pencil from 50 kilometers.
That is
But I'm
not
here
what
to
I
remind
said.
you, bro. You got you. Okay, I'll stand correct.
I said I wouldn't expect you to see a pencil because it's too small from 50 kilometers away.
Would you see curvature?
I'm not sure.
So that's what you have to find out. If be a globe, there's measurements that would show or measure curvature. If be a globe with the radius, right? Yes or no?
Couldn't see a pencil from 50 meters.
Bro, I'm sorry I got what you said wrong. I would just ask you to pull up an Earth curve calculator from your favorite search engine and just kind of play around with that, you know. There's different variables that you can punch in and it does all the math for you. And the best part about it is that it wasn't created by flat earthers. It was actually created by globe earthers. Well, I mean, is there any flat earthers that have made an Earth curve calculator? I doubt they'd be at the top of Google's list.
The thing is, he doesn't even know that there's an Earth curve calculator. He doesn't even know it exists. He doesn't know what the radius is, what you would expect to find on if be a globe. Am I right?
You are correct, which is why I'm here.
Yeah, so at 10 miles, it's of curvature.
You phased out. Say that again. 10 miles. At 10 miles was how much curvature? Physical curvature?
Isn't it 66 is predicted at 10 miles, 66 feet?
That's right. That's a physical curvature. That's right.
It's exponential, obviously. You know, the further away, the more it drops. At 100 miles, it's about 6,666 feet.
It's a lot of sixes there.
I pulled
that
up.
would mean that much extra railroad would need to be used. An extra mile every 100 miles. Same thing with undersea cables. There would be a mile every 1,000. What about in 10,000 miles?
Isn't that reasonable to assume over such a large distance?
That you're going across the sea floor, which is horizontal. By the way, that's almost 70% of your globe is flat oceans. The rest is 30% of the land above seawater. Oh, of that land above sea level, 10% of that are plains also, like salt flats. So you only have 20% left to make up your entire curvature.
Yeah, McJeff, like if you're really trying to
good luck.
Hey, McJeff, if you're really trying to get into this whole discussion, the best tools to start with is like understand. Like I know someone was talking to you about angular resolution of the eye, like why we can't see forever. That's like a good thing to look into because to be honest, if, I've been looking into this since 2015, and I didn't have all those key like factors at the beginning, and a lot of the arguments that flat earthers were saying didn't make sense to me until I understood what like how angular resolution worked, how objects at a distance decrease in size, and you can't see. Dude, I used to think you were able to see forever. Like I literally believe that, right? And once you figure out how like the human eye works or optics, because everything is pretty much like everything that takes a picture works pretty similar like an eyeball. Different resolutions, all that. Once you have that figured out, then look into the curve calculator, how Hank Hill was talking about, because then you start to understand that there's certain objects on Earth. You could do markers like you could be standing on one location and then go like 20, 30 miles to a different location of a known marker, and you can determine if like let's say like a building at 10 miles and the building is exactly like 50 feet. Well, if you knew the math and you knew how to do that, you would be able to observe this building from that location and be like, wait, why am I seeing the whole building or why is some of the building missing? Like you'd be able to actually deduce like if this this observation correlates with either a globe Earth or a flat Earth. And that's where people start jumping on, different ships, like, oh, it could be flat, or when you start to actually see these observations, because these are like real life observations that someone can go and test out. I don't have to believe someone that like claims they've been in space. I don't have to trust anyone. These are things that we can actually test ourselves, and it's more down to earth and more grounding, in my opinion, to like figure something out for yourself. Of course, we don't have the ability to do that with everything. I'm not gonna lie. I do trust some things that people say I have to. I mean, there's no choice, right? But there are certain things that I choose not to. I kind of pick and choose with it. But at the end of the day, like I said, what really grounds your belief in something is when it stops becoming a belief and you start to know something.
Right, I understand
Hey,
your point.
do you mind if I interject about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so we call these phenomenons, and basically he's correct.
Hold on. I got to introduce you, Swaffle. We got to introduce you as Bob so people know you're Bob. All right.
Yeah, that's fine. I can even change my name.
Said it was fine. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody knows. So yeah, we're not going to rehash your Bob experience, but Schwaffle is Bob 2.0. So just so everybody knows. Okay, there you go. Go ahead, Schwaffle.
Change my name for you guys. Yeah, so we call this a phenomenon, and you're completely correct. It's an observable fact or event that we can't certainly explain at first, or that